All right, y'all. So, 2018, first video, level up. Can we just reflect on 2017? Because we really in 2018. Like, I don't know about you, but when I was little, I used to think of the future. I'm like, yeah, like when we get to like 2015 or 2013, like when I graduated high school, and then now it's like 2018 is here.
Bro, I feel old.
We in a couple years, I'm gonna be 30.
Hey, see, I don't do that.
You don't do that?
I don't do the dates in future. I already forgot how old I am. I just know I'm older than 23.
You old?
You know what I'm saying? So let's stop counting.
Okay. So, all right, you ready to level up?
Hey, bro, I'm already there.
You already there? All right, well, let's rise up then. All right, y'all. So today on Level Up, we just gonna really talk about where Taylor has been, cause we was trying to level up, but was missing a very important piece.
So you making it feel like it's all like I just messed up the crew, you know?
Nah, but for real, though, y'all. First video, 2018, Level Up, and it's crazy because I just feel like other people, like, they don't see the process. Like, y'all, like, you gotta be in love with the process, bro.
They get still caught up in the short game, not the long game.
Exactly.
And if you in the long game, the short game's fun.
Like, y'all gonna be watching this video, and then it's just gonna be like y'all don't. Our first recording.
Yeah. That'd be sweet to just show that in the clip.
Like, we did it, yeah. Because y'all would just be like,
what happened to you?
what are these dudes doing? Like, it was laughable. It's okay, though. That's why it's about the content. Quality over quantity. All right, so Taylor, first question. Really just, how's 2018 been for you so far? Today is January 19th. 19 days in. How we looking?
Shoot, man. Hasn't gone as smooth as I would liked because I just finished my goals for this year. So I would have loved to finish it like by first week of January.
Yeah.
But so I'm like 14 days behind. But I think I started planning behind starting the year in February. So I'm basically a month behind because I'm catching up everything now. So then all my goals for the year are starting in February. But that's what I've been doing. I've been invested in a journal, which I think we talked about before. And it's just about focusing and being intentional on what I want to get done, and then measuring it every single week, every single month, and making sure I'm taking the small investment to get to the end goal.
Okay, so tell me a small goal that you have for 2018 that you've been working on, that you've gotten started in the first couple weeks. Tell me a small goal that you want to get to and what you're doing to get there.
Okay. It'll probably stem to two, but the first one is I'm finishing up a financial book to try to set up my investment portfolio for not just this year, but this year, 5-year, 10-year, and 20-year. And the thing I love, or I forget who I heard it from, but it's such wise advice of when you make a goal, make sure you take an action step as soon as you make it. Because then it becomes something like, it becomes a goal instead of an outcome. And I think that's the words flip we have. Because if you think of a goal, it's like, yeah, I want to achieve a goal. Like it's something off in the future.
Yeah.
Whereas like that's my outcome, it's like I'm viewing it from the outcome, I'm looking back, I'm reverse engineering it. Right? So usually it's like goal, why, plan, action, outcome.
So
right, and so I start from outcome and I say, this is what I want, what's the plan, what's the action you take, boom, I'm gonna achieve my goal.
Okay, so to put it in layman, what I feel like is he's setting the end before the beginning.
Agree.
Like he's putting where he wants to be out here, and then he's backtracking, going, "What can I do today to achieve that?"
Exactly.
And we could go deep on that right there, but setting the end before the beginning, and then backtracking so that he can work toward the goal. What does he have to do daily? What does he have to do monthly? So setting up the financial portfolio, reading a book. All right. So what's something else?
So next thing I want to do is I'm gonna read 24. It's probably gonna turn to 26, but 24 books this year. I have them all. So like basically a book every 2 weeks is what it is, and have them all to the date. Put them in the piles that I want. So like first month's gonna be more financial and like investing and what to do with my money. Second month's gonna start going into a little bit more spiritual goals. Third month is gonna be a little bit more like mindset, mentality, health, and then the fourth month I'm gonna start going into a little bit of I wouldn't say the 4th month because it's gonna be 2 weeks, so it's probably I have piles, and so like my 4th pile.
Just putting everything in your head, trying to put it out there.
Right. So my 4th pile is gonna be more of, not necessarily. I would say more dictated on the way that I think, and opening and understanding how like thinking can change reality. So it's like I have different segments of what I want to achieve in my mindset, my body, and spiritually and physically, and then how I can apply that. So have them segmented in certain times of the year when I know later on I'm gonna probably fall into maybe I'm gonna get lax in that area.
Yeah.
Well, I want to start reading books in that area, right? So I'm almost anticipating what's gonna happen based on previous results. That I'm gonna insert. Okay, I'm starting this book now, so that I know I can't fall. As I'm basically setting up a self-accountability process for myself. So those are 2 goals that I have that I'm excited about. I have all the books, like I said, on my floor and piled up,
Boom.
so they're ready to go.
I like that. That's all. It's all planned out. Like I just go back again. Like just where did like for real like, all that where did it all start?
With the planning side of it?
Yeah, because it's just so detailed. Like, and I know it's just like, I don't want everybody to think, oh, if I want to be successful, I got to have journals, I got to have this. Like, no. The main point that we trying to make is wherever you are, do something to get to the next level.
Right. It's all about.
And it's not, like, you're not going to go from making $1 in a year to $1 million. Like, it's not going to, you got to first get to 100, then 200. Like, it's not about, like, how can I say, like, you just gotta, you want to see the big picture, but no, you gotta work on the little picture first.
Right. It's all, because what the big picture does is it gives you perspective. And the small picture is what creates reality, right? And that's exactly what he's saying. It's like, you have to understand the outcome and stand from the outcome, so you know, it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Well, I know I'm going to achieve this, and you're constantly speaking that over yourself, and that's your perspective. Like, it's already done. Now I just got to do the task to get me there. It's a different mindset than saying, okay, this is my goal, what do I have to do to get there? It's like, I'm already there, what do I have to do to stay here? Almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a different, and the whole thing about like writing, you have to, the reason journals are important, I think that I've started to learn, is just sort of write stuff down. It's easy, because you have a lot of great ideas come in your head, you have a lot of great things that you want to do or want to achieve, but then as life goes on, you start getting stressed, you start having a lot of stuff, you get busy, then you forget, you kind of get lax already, and then you're not going to remember because your emotional state's in a different place. And so it's like all about creating that environment. And once you have it, start recording it, writing it down so you can always refer back to it. Because it's too hard, it's too much going on, and that's why I've kind of started going into the, I wouldn't say journals or anything, just writing it down in general, on your phone it could be even, or I think writing is better because it's scientifically proven too.
Yeah.
But I think, actually one of the things T.D. Jakes said is that if you can't write down with a pencil, you can't weld it with steel. And I loved it because I was like, dang, like there's an importance of, because think about an architect, right? He has to draw out the plan for someone else to follow. But I'm in both processes. I'm the person building it and I'm the person writing it. So if I can't write it, then how am I supposed to build a life that I want? Right? So it's like
golden nugget.
So I mean, when he said that, I was like, dude, that's so deep. And he said it so like, I mean, he's a powerful dude, and it's just, he said it so nonchalant. And I was like, hold up, pause this. Like, wait a second, this dude just
You woke up.
Yeah, I was like, that is huge. Because that's where I was like, why do we have to write them down? But if you think about it, if you ask an architect, why are you writing your plans down? What am I going to give them? Hey, just go build me a house? That's what we do with our goals, though, don't we?
Yeah.
I want to be faster and stronger. But what does that mean?
Yeah.
How do you know next year you're faster and stronger? Just because you're older, you may put a couple pounds on? Like, that's your goal? Not really, but you're like, oh, when you get there, it's like, oh, yeah, I'm 2 pounds heavier, I'm at 1% less body fat. Like, it just happened. Like, that was not your... The thing about what we have to understand is we're creators, and so we get to create life. But if we don't, like, push ourselves to actually create something, life's just going to happen. And you get into the reaction phase instead of getting into... I wouldn't say... Because you want to have the spontaneity, so you want to have plan and spontaneity, but I tend to... I'm more plan-oriented, so I have to almost plan my spontaneity, which is weird to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like...
Sunday, fun day.
Exactly. It's bad.
It's all right. But what he's I like what you're getting at. I feel like what you're getting at. He's living life intentionally. Like we like to look at other people and we base them off their actions, but when we look at ourselves, we base ourselves off our intentions. So we say, oh, I wanted to get faster, I wanted to, but you didn't put a plan in place so that you could perform the actions to get faster, so therefore you will not get faster.
Right.
He's talking about putting a plan in place, and it's not saying, oh man, you got to do all this. It's just like, if you want the result, you got to put in the work, and a plan will help you put in the work. I can't tell you how many times I won a goal and I was doing something and I got tired, and then what do? I just happened to run across where I wrote it down. And then all of a sudden, it just reminded me, it was a spark that I needed, like, oh, that's why I'm doing this. Because as humans, we like to think we're perfect, but we forget stuff. Okay. Sometimes you forget why you grinding. You forget why you waking up every day and doing what you do. And you have to remind yourself of why you're doing it. So that's all you're doing when you put in the journal. You just reminding yourself, oh, okay. And then you laugh because you like, it's like the whole mindset just goes, it's easy now. Like, I know why I'm doing it.
Right.
So that's good. That's good.
No, dude. Because the thing about it, the more and more you go over it, repetition is a master of skill. So, right? So every time you look at that thing you wrote down, you're starting to master, that's the way I think. That's the way I think. So then now when it just comes up or you get like emotionally exhausted, so to speak, it's like, dude, I'm doing this because of this, and then that emotion's gone.
Yeah.
You already get that spark naturally, and sooner or later you're gonna have to look at it. It's already ingrained in your mind, and I think that's the biggest thing to write it down.
Yeah, writing down. That's journals.
Yeah.
All right, so got that part. Just tell us really, like, the past couple weeks, we wanted to level up. Just tell us about everything you have, and I know I'm putting you out there, but you know that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. That's the whole point of level up. I'm just going around, asking everybody like, hey, it don't matter where you are, what you're doing, but hey, you leveling up. So tell me a little bit about it. So just tell me a little bit about the past couple weeks and the journey you've been on.
Shoot, man. I guess backtracking a couple weeks, probably, when was it? It's early January, I believe. Mm-hmm. I've been traveling around with some info teams. Kansas City was just recently, so I was out there for a couple of days.
Was it cold?
Oh, dude.
It's been cold in Texas, but...
It was like 20 degrees, we were outside. It wasn't
20.
The thing about it wasn't bad because it wasn't windy and it was like that dry cold. You know what I'm talking about?
I really don't know the different types of cold, but...
Oh, there's different types. Here's wet cold, so like when it feels colder here than it does there.
Yeah.
So like a 30 here might be a 20 there. Mm-hmm. So I mean.
Yeah. I know that. Hey, I lived in Oklahoma for 6 months.
Okay.
It's a different type of cold up in Oklahoma, y'all. Like, when they say 9, it's 9. So, better have your boots, your jacket, your leggings, your gloves, your hat. So, but go ahead. I'm interrupting.
No, you're good. So just.
It was cold.
Oh, it was pretty cold. So I was there for a couple days. Had a great time out there meeting the special teams coach, things like that. Like right now I'm in that phase of waiting for what's going to happen next with NFL teams. So it's waiting for the coaches to reach back out. There's a lot of coaching changes going on right now.
True.
So like head coaches, some are retiring, some are transferring, some special team coaches become head coaches. Like, it's a bunch of stuff going on. And so like the worst part is the waiting game. Like that's the hardest part. Because it's like, well, I want to be somewhere. Like last year I was already knowing where I was going. And so it's hard, because especially speaking like goals, I'm like, I see my outcome, I know where I'm going. I see my outcome, but like the plan's still fuzzy. I'm like, okay, well, how am I going to get there? Yeah. Who in that process is like, okay, well, what's going to be? And so like that's where, dude, it comes down to just, I guess, faith and just believing in what?
That faith, boy.
Without seeing.
So that faith. Talk about a little bit how that has been tested throughout this whole journey, because I know, like, and you don't gotta go super deep, but I'm just telling you, like, if you think what you want to do is going to be easy, you just gonna get smacked around, because it's not gonna be easy. And I'm not saying I've been through so much, but I know what it's like to stumble and fall and get back up and stumble and fall and get back up and stumble and fall. That's life.
Yeah.
So talk about just how fighting through adversity has just helped you just going through this process, because now you feel you put in the work, you set the goals, you got the outcome, and now you've done what you can do. Right. Like there's nothing else you can't make it happen. Like it's no longer in your hands. You put in the work. So now the other part is the faith.
Right, and I think the more and it's a funny thing because the whole thing with struggles is like you don't want them, but it's what creates you, right? And what's also sustains you. So like when, before like I think we talked about it before, like the struggles that I've kind of gone through after I got out of college, like that first year was one of the hardest years of my life, and so but that moment though it was miserable, has what's been able to sustain me and probably can sustain me for a long time, and it just not only changed the way I thought, but it changed the way I approached things. It changed the way everything just went deeper, so that now like when I fall, it wasn't a huge fall. It was like, okay, I grew, so next time I fall, I'm just falling here. You know what I mean? So it's like I grew my fall, so I didn't have to fall as far.
Yeah. You build. It's like you added on to the foundation.
Exactly. So I basically rebuilt the foundation. Because that's what it felt like. I built from scratch.
From scratch,
right?
from the mud.
Just dead scratch. So I was like, okay, well, if I ever come back here, I know I can start here now. You know what I mean? Like I'm building the skyscraper, and now I'm on floor 10 instead of just building the elevator on floor 1. You know what I mean? So
that's good. You just said, look, he was on floor 1, but he was already building the elevator, but he didn't see the other floors yet. But he was on floor 1 building the elevator. It's alright. Somebody they gonna catch that later.
I appreciate you.
They gonna catch
seen that.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
So the faith thing, man. I think because the reason I brought up struggles, because struggles I think produces even stronger faith, or belief, is because in those moments you have to have it. Otherwise you're done. You just call it quits, and that's why you see some people that just call it quits, and you see some people that rise up and say, "This is where I came from." And so it becomes a choice, and that goes back to being a creator, what we were talking about just a second ago.
Let me just stop again. Yeah. A choice.
Yeah, I mean.
You have a choice. I mean, in that moment, like you said, getting out, and it's so, I'm telling you, life goes full circle. It just, like, you think, like, that's what, don't ever burn a bridge. Life will come full circle. You think you won't see somebody again, you'll see him, I guarantee it. But anyway, what he was just talking about, just going through that struggle that first year out of college, I'm going through that. This is my first year out of college. I'm going through that same struggle. And I would be lying to y'all if I said some of the struggles that he going through, I'm going through right now. Like, life just going full circle. So him, reach one, teach one. He went through that struggle, and he here helping me. Like, the big picture just dawned on me. Like, I don't know, it just woke up again. But literally, every time I hear you talk, I'm like, dang. Like, he's like, like you don't feel like somebody talking, they talking to you. This dude talking to me right now, so I'm sorry, I just had to get that out. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. And I think, we'll touch on. I'm not going to touch on something with that in a second.
We got a choice. That was the point. But we all have a choice. You can choose to get back up, or you can choose to call it quits. And as long as you breathing, might as well.
You got a choice.
You got a choice.
So, and it goes back to like stemming off the choice thing is, once you have a choice, it's like, okay, what do I want?